Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and for Yancy Street, issue number, well, it's a one-shot, so whatever. By the way, this scene actually happens in this book. I genuinely enjoyed this book. There was one thing I genuinely hated about this book, like despised, but I can still accept it. I'm going to get to that after I tell you about who made this book. Okay, so For Yancy Street by Jerry Duggan, writer. Greg Smallwood, Mark Bagley, Luciana Vecchio, and Perry Perez doing the art. Greg Smallwood and Eric Arcianiega doing the color art. VC's Joe Caramagna doing the letters. And Esad Ribic doing the cover art, with variant covers by Stonehouse, Jack Kirby and Chris Sotomayor, and Tom Rainey and Dave McCaig. So, and of course, Stanley and Jack Kirby created the Fantastic Four. They also created, I believe, if I'm remembering these guys, the Terrible Trio. I think that's what they were called in here. I'm trying to remember. What do you call it? Yeah, these guys show up, and it's actually the Terrible Trio. Yes, I'm correct. I could be wrong, but I think that these knuckleheads were actually created by Kirby and Stan Lee way back in the early days of the Fantastic Four. And it was basically like Doctor Doom created these. They gave these mugs some superpowers, and they went out and they were beating up on the Fantastic Four. And then Doctor Doom was, I think it was probably one of those things like, I don't share power, so he like whoop summoned or sent them to another dimension or something stupid like that, whatever. And I believe we never heard from them again. So I'm shocked to see them again with this. They may have shown up at some other time or another. Maybe I'll remember, maybe I won't, but whatever. And you know what? These might be three completely different guys, but I'm almost positive this is them. Anyway, so that's a really cool way to, reintroduce these guys. Wow. The art in this was fantastic. I genuinely enjoyed seeing this. There was a funny part in here where they throw this one kid, he's he's a troublemaker. He's just a jerk, and he goes and he puts spray paint in the thing's face at one point. I'm like, oh, this kid just needs to be kicked. He needs to get a kick in the butt, just like sent flying across the street at least. At one point, this kid comes back and he winds up throwing a Molotov cocktail. I shouldn't be laughing at this. He throws a Molotov cocktail at the one dude who's Indian. Now, there are three guys of this Terrible Trio, as the name would imply. Two of them are white, one of them is this Indian dude, and he's the one who gets the fire thrown at him. Now, in one way, you could look at it as, well, this is the one guy who's fireproof, but he didn't realize that, oh, that makes for a funny joke. On another scale, that's a hate crime, man. Yo. Like, that is just hysterical. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I'm reading the comic book, I'm looking around, like, does anybody else see this? Yo, what's up? Oh, man. This was a really fun comic book. So what's the one part that I hated? I hate that it's a one-shot. Look, Duggan is a guy who, he did probably the most amazing run on Deadpool. Spoiled the hell out of us with that. But he's also done a lot of other really good things. At the same time, he is hit or miss. Sometimes he'll miss so wildly. It's like, oh my God, this sucks. Like, this is terrible. Like, every so often that happens. But one thing, whether you love him or hate him, or like me, you take every piece that Jerry Duggan does as an individual work, and you judge it based on its own merits. Even if whichever version of a person you are in regards to Jerry Duggan, you gotta always give it to him. He doesn't care if Marvel goes and tells him, oh, so listen, what we really want is we want to have like 6-issue or a 12-issue series, because we always put, 6 issues or so in an arc. And even if you just do 5 issues, that's cool. But you just throw something else in there also, because Jerry Duggan's like, screw you, man. I don't have 5 or 6 or 12 stories to tell. I got 1, or I got 3, or I got 8, or shut up, I'm going to write what I want to write. And if you don't like it, I can take my services elsewhere. That seems to me, at least, I don't know Jerry Duggan, never met him. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him. Maybe I have. But it just seems to me like that's who Jerry Duggan is. And I can't help but to just give all the respect in the world to somebody who does that. Literally, you don't have 5 stories to tell? You got only 3? Then only write 3. And he's the only guy I know in comic books that I can safely say that's what he'll do. He's not interested in conforming to your trade paperback rules. He's not in it for necessarily your profit. He's in it to tell a good story. And that's one of the reasons why I can always respect whatever it is that he's doing. Anyway, guys, enough of that. This was a really good story. I love this. Absolutely love this. But it would be cool to see Duggan doing a 4 Yancy Street unlimited series, ongoing. That being said, I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.